In this two-part video, we'll take a look at how to create a promotional video for a business like this.
The fierce, the restless, and the goal-driven. This is what we do, because we are Leonardo Transportation.
By yourself. Hi, Joko with GJD Photography here, and today we will discuss one of the most important aspects for creating any type of video for that matter, and that is pre-production. We have a lot to cover, so let's jump right into it. First of all, there's what I like to call the seed. Rarely do business owners or managers know what they want. They just want their videos to be unique. But it's up to you as the alchemist, cinematographer, to create something out of nothing, right? Wrong. The seed is the initial idea that you actually pitch to your client, especially if you meet them for a first time. So it is important to do your due diligence, when it comes to research. Find out a little bit more about them, about their business. Who are their customers? What services do they provide? So that you can go to the meeting prepared. And not only that, but you can plant an initial idea for the video. So the seed is very important. So then once you have a little bit more information about their business, and you'll consequently learn something about them as well, because the business reflects them after all. The smart thing to do would be write up something, an idea of, how you envision the video to look like. There we go. How you envision the video to look like. Something that fits their style, fits their business, and even fits their personality, because after all, this video is going to be about them and not about you. In that way, you don't go empty-handed to the meeting, if you're meeting with the client. On the contrary, you'll have done enough to give the client an idea of exactly what you're capable of. And that is constructing a nice video and, planning out filming and all that stuff. So research is important. It's really important when it comes to preparing for meeting with a client. Which brings us to the three main parts of, creating a video. First, you have pre-production, then you have filming, and then you have post-production. Let's jump into pre-production. As a videographer, you have an idea of what the video will look like. It's better to write up a document. I'm sure there are templates out there, but I write my own. So what I do is I divide the document into two parts. One part is for the business. Everything the business offers and what are its strengths, its opportunities and all that stuff, all the good stuff about the business. The other part is the creative part, where you will outline all the things that you will do in order to create the video. Some of those things are what I call the 4 W's. The where, the what, the why, and the when. Okay, each of these questions you need to answer in the creative part. For example, where are you planning on shooting? So you need to make sure that you either have a location, you need to do location scouting. If you know where you need to go in order to get all your shots, better yet. The what you need to shoot. Interviews, buildings, vehicles, products, people, services. All those things need to be included in the what. We'll skip to the why in the end. When. So the when is mostly for dates and times, so that if you have, your own film crew, say a sound guy, a driver, a photographer, makeup artist, etc., the whole film crew, then you need to plan accordingly. So you need to let everybody know, including the business owner, the company or the business who the video is intended for, so they can plan ahead and allot that time frame for you to create the video. Sometimes you cannot get everybody on the same page, at the same time, same date, and blah blah blah. So that's where you plan things out and let everybody know ahead of time, so that can let you know and you can plan for it. And the why, in the end, the why is, why are you shooting what you're shooting? So it needs to go hand in hand with the objectives of the business and the goals of the business. So it needs to go to stand with the brand. If you're shooting a certain building, why are you shooting the building? You need to let your client know and your crew that, the purpose of that specific shot. So once you have answered all the questions, the what, where, when, and why, it's good practice to narrate the video for your client. The reason for that is, since you have an idea of how the video will look like, your client doesn't. So what you want to do is, you want to write down into as greater detail as you can the things that you visualize. Like if you envision the video to have one of the interviews where, the interviewee is walking towards the camera, write it down like that. Like interviewee or person A walking towards camera and talking with building or vehicle or whatever it is the business offers, in the background, or moving shot of so-and-so, rotating shot, B-roll sequence, and all these things will be included in that small narrative of the video that you will present to your client later. This will actually give you additional ideas. It will elaborate on your initial idea to create this one promotional video. Like in my case, we had, I was working on the promotional video and I knew it was gonna be, up to a minute long. So I was working my way around that. And later on, as I gathered footage, I realized that one, there was way more footage than I actually needed. So, and two, all the footage is not directed towards a certain target group, or the video won't have, any objective. So therefore, I divided the footage to use it into different parts of the video, or, create different videos. And that's where I came up with the idea, okay, what if I do one promotion video and then we'll have one video targeted towards drivers, where, we will insert more of the driver interviews and, in the truck, in the cabin of the truck, and at shippers, driving the truck, and blah, 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 all these different services that the company offers to drivers. So that's what I did. And then the third video, I thought, because I needed to condense the interviews a little bit, people keep talking and talking, and that's your job to figure out and let them know, hey, listen, okay, let's condense this. Like, how would you say it shorter? Or kind of like a summary of what they just talked about, right? So I used those summaries, if you may, put them in that video, and that gave me the opportunity to create a third video where I'll put almost the entire interview. So that's how the third video came into effect. Now, the purpose for all three videos is to represent the company, yes, and talk about the company, yes. But their use is different. Video one, the promotion video, could be used on a Facebook page, to promote the business. It could be used as an ad, for that matter. Video two, which is targeted towards truck drivers mostly, only actually, is used as an Facebook ad, Instagram ad, or any sort of ad where you can show other drivers what your company offers, right? And the experience of the current drivers at your company. And the third video is something that you could put on your website as a, in the get to know us section of your website, where you'll have the owner talk about themselves, you'll have employees talk about themselves, and at the same time you'll have B-roll of all your equipment, of your services, and these things. So that is something that could be included in that video. And that's exactly what we did. Without the 4 W's and without pre-planning all of that, you wouldn't have come up to that idea. You wouldn't have come up with the different, uses for all these videos. You wouldn't even come up with the different videos that you could create from the same material, right? So pre-production is the most important part when it comes to creating a video. It's time-consuming, but in the end, you'll thank yourself for making sure that, that everything runs smoothly. Sometimes it won't, but that should be part of your pre-production process where you should kind of like think ahead what could go wrong when doing this or that. So, I hope you like this part of the video. We'll go into the second part so I can keep this short. And the second part will be about the filming and the post-production. So stay tuned for that. But like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.